I'm going to pass on to some other people in a few minutes, and I'm not going to talk to you again, but I just wanted to get some thank yous out of the way before we do that. First of all, to thank all of you for coming. As last year, overwhelmed by the numbers who've come and the distances you've travelled, and it is a long day. It's an early start, it's a late finish if you're doing it all in one trip. So thank you all so much for coming, for your support, for your questions, for your criticisms. There are feedback forms on your seats, and we'd be very grateful if you'd fill them out and hand them to anybody wearing a red shirt on your way out. We looked at the ones from last year. They've shaped much of what happened today. So what was good, what was not good, please let us know, and we can build on that for next year. Even if perhaps you wanted to have a 2-day event, we consider that. I'd like to thank our speakers, particularly Professor Chamberlain, the bald Welshman with the glasses. And his good wife, and he's mortified now, and it's a great privilege to be able to embarrass him. So thank you, Douglas. To thank all our traders and exhibitors outside. I hope that you got to see some of what they have on offer, and certainly their financial support has been key to the success of this conference. And on top of that, the support of FEC, the National Ambulance Service, and the Heart Foundation, both in terms of time, resources, and money. We couldn't have done it without them. So a sincere thanks to them, and that's an ongoing partnership. I suppose the biggest thanks goes for all those people in red shirts. I took a little bit of a back seat in organising this year, and they just ran with it, and it was absolutely fantastic. And they've put in a huge amount of effort and time over the last couple of months, last week, and particularly the last 24 hours. They were up late last night, not just in the bar. They were up early this morning, also not in the bar. They've put in a lot of time, they've given up a lot. Most of them wouldn't have seen much of the conference today because they were running around in the background. So I'd like to get you all to give them a big round of applause and thank you. I'm nearly done. All the talks today, including, it seems, unfortunately, this one, are being videoed, and they'll be up on the FEC and CFR.ie websites in the next couple of weeks with the slides, so you'll be able to watch them again, and anyone who wasn't here can dip in and out. The biggest sponsor, our premium sponsor, was Physio Control and Oxygen Care, and they've kindly donated a CR Plus trainer and AED, which was raffled off to all of those of you who registered online. So we have a randomly selected winner. I'm not sure if she's still here. Kerry McAndrew? Not here, but we'll make contact with Kerry, and I think any of you who know Kerry will think that's an absolutely deserving winner. So fair play. And we will make sure that that gets to her and that's good, put to good use in her community. Keith O'Brien, you won a Zoll AED outside. Seamus Sinnott, you won the CR Plus trainer for the best CPR. So make sure you pick them up on the way out as well. And the last person I need to thank is John. Oh, he's back? Perfect timing, John. There is one person who all this would not have happened without, and he's not into being thanked any more than Douglas is. It's not you, Alan. John lives and breathes and sleeps CFR. Without him, none of this would have happened. He's been the go-to person at 6 in the morning, at 1 in the morning, at every hour in between, every email that's answered, every text message that's sent. My instructions for today, which are about 10 pages thick, every little bit of that has gone through John, and that's, you know, he's quite mortified now, and he's going to get worse. But give John a big round of applause and thank you. While he is embarrassed and mortified, I'm going to invite him up on the stage. He's going to do a little piece on our next item, and then I'm going to ask Barry O'Sullivan just to say a few words in closing.
Water. Actually, I think you should read the instructions. That wasn't in it. Anyway, listen, the next item on the agenda is the Geoff King Award, and if you can bear with me for a second, I want to give you some background. In Bray, July 2013, there was a couple of us sitting around the kitchen table in Bray, and David, Dr. Menzies, had just recently agreed to be our medical director in Wicklow. And we were trying to bring him up to speed on about 8-9 years of activity and what we were doing and what our plans were. And were they mad, or were we mad, or was he mad? And during the course of the conversation, or the briefing, we'll call it, it became some information came out that we had just launched a new website in Wicklow, and we had a couple of inquiries for new groups. So somebody says, as they always do, if we held a national conference, would anybody come? So this was on a Wednesday. David said, I'm talking to Geoff King on Friday at a meeting in Feck at the Pre-Hospital Emergency Care Council. I'll ask him and see what he thinks. So I was in work on Friday afternoon, a text came in, Geoff thinks it's a great idea, wants to see a proposal. Now, we've done lots of things, but I haven't written a proposal before, so I said, right, I'll think about this over the weekend. Well, no sooner I read the text, and an email came back with a proposal. Now, he must have done it in the car on the way up to Dublin, but it was done. And no sooner had it been done than Geoff King replied, this is brilliant, fully support this. I'm going to bring it to Feck Council in 2 weeks' time, and I'm going to see if I can get funding for you. And to make a long story short, we ended up with Respond 2014 last year. It wouldn't have happened without Geoff King and support of the Pre-Hospital Emergency Care Council. So that's a little bit of background. We first, as a group in Wicklow, we met Geoff in 2008. Things were really bad in Wicklow at the time. We were losing instructors, we were losing responders, we had no instructors, and we didn't think we had instructors. We couldn't train new people, and we were losing groups, and we were going off 24/7 covering some groups, and it was a bit of a mess. So we were talking to everybody. We'd been to the Department of Health, we'd been to Dáil Éireann, we'd talked to everybody. We had a conversation with Professor Jerry Bury, and he said, you guys need to talk to Geoff King. And we didn't know who Geoff King was, really. He was a bit above anything we ever had anything to do with anybody. So anyhow, I dropped off an email to Geoff, and again, similar to earlier, no sooner had I hit send button and there was a reply, love to meet you guys, I heard loads about you. So we formed a little delegation, about 6 of us went up and we had a big spiel, and we were going through our bit, and he said, hold on there guys, what exactly do you need? Well, the problem is that we're losing instructors, and we're losing responders. We can't maintain our 24/7 cover, and we've new groups that want to train, and we need instructors. But he said, you have instructors, you have 40 instructors, why can't you use those? And we didn't realise the obvious, that we could train ourselves. And he said, furthermore, it's the ideal situation. CFRs, who are instructors, teaching new CFRs, it's the ideal situation to impart that knowledge that they have gained. You are unique, you have all this knowledge that you can impart to those new recruits. It's the ideal situation. And furthermore, he said, and some of you will understand this, if anybody has a problem with that, you tell them to come and see me. So then, when we first decided that we were going to have an award and we wanted to recognise a community group or an individual or an organisation or just an individual, wherever, for something that they have done to improve community first response or change survival or CPR in their community, it wasn't long before we decided that we'd like to name it the Geoff King Award. The reason being that, very unfortunately, Geoff passed away last August, way before his time and way before this work was complete. And so that's why we must carry it on, and we will carry it on. So we asked Hannah, his wife, would she mind if we named an award after Geoff, and she very, very kindly agreed to allow us to do that. So that's how we end up with the Geoff King Award. This award will be presented at each Respond. This year we formed a little committee to overlook it, and we asked Jacqueline Egan from FEC to adjudicate, and we also asked Shane Mooney from NASA and the IRFU Safe Rugby Programme would they adjudicate for us. And then we had a little meeting, just a Respond meeting, just around Christmas time, and we said to ourselves, there really only is one recipient of this award. So that's where we are. Now, I won't delay you, but we have a little award here, and if you wouldn't mind, we do take it. Okay? No, good. So, the recipient of the award the Geoff King Award for 2015 for innovation and commitment for first response in Ireland is Geoff King.
Hello everybody. I'm not the best public speaker in the world, and I'm not even sure if I'll finish this, but I'd just like to say it's a privilege to be here today, and I've really enjoyed the day, and thank you to all the organisers. It's been very informative, and I just wish Geoff was here to receive this award himself, because I'm sure he'd be surprised and absolutely delighted, but he would feel that somebody else should actually receive it. But I feel very proud to receive it for him, so thank you.